Forms of organizational structure. Forms of organizational structures. Students, in these forms of organizational structure, we have line organization, functional organization, and line and staff organization. So we have three forms of organizational structures. Number one is line organization. Number two, functional organization. And number three, line and staff organization. So let us observe what is line organization, functional organization, and line and staff organization. Okay, now focus on line organization. As you can see on the slide, line organization is the simplest and the oldest type of organization. It is also known as scholar organization or military type of organization. Line organization is the simplest and oldest type of organization. It is also known as scholar organization or military type of organization. Scholar organization means we have three levels of management: top management, middle level of management, and lower management. So this is called as scholar organization, which it consists of to run an organization. Okay, and an important characteristic of line organization is superior subordinate relationship. Superior delegates authority to another subordinate and so on, forming a line from the very top to the bottom of the organizational structure. The line of authority so established is referred as line authority. Under this type of organizational authority flows downwards, responsibility moves upwards in a straight line. Scholar principle and unity of command are strictly followed in line organization. So let us focus on the first important characteristic of line organization is there is a very good relationship between superior subordinates. Superior will give the instructions, superior will show the authority and leadership, and they will delegate authority to subordinates. So when the superior delegate authority to another subordinate and another subordinate to lower management, it forms a sort of line, and it creates a relationship among all levels of management. A line of authority is so established is referred as line authority. Under this type of organization, authority flows downwards from top to bottom. Responsibility moves upwards to topwards. So here you have to understand one thing, students. Authority flows downwards, top management to middle, middle to lower. Similarly, responsibility moves from lower to middle, middle to top. So this is a kind of, it depends on scholar principle and unity of command. Unity of command means one superior to number of subordinates, but never be more superiors one subordinate. Try to remember this point because it is very, very important. Unity of command means one superior, one or two subordinates or more subordinates, but it should not be more subordinates and more superiors and one subordinate. Okay, ma'am? Yes. Next one, for example of line organization, this type of organization resembles with the army administration or military type of organization. As in the case of military, commander-in-chief holds the topmost position and has the entire control over the army of the country, which in turn is developed into main area command under major generals. So in this slide, students, you can focus very clearly line organization. Here we have a general manager. Under the supervisorship of general manager, we have three categories of managers: production manager, financial manager, marketing manager. So three divisions are there: production division, finance division, marketing division. And these three divisions are departments are supervised by production manager, finance manager and marketing manager. So if we observe production management, production department, there we have production manager. Under the supervision of production manager, we will have superintendent, and superintendent will give authority to foreman, and foreman will give authority and responsibility to workers. Okay, so from production manager, general manager will give the instructions to production manager. Production manager will give authority to superintendent, from superintendent to foreman, and foreman to workers. Similarly, general manager will give instructions to finance manager, finance manager to assistant finance manager, assistant finance manager to accountants, accountants to clerk. And in the marketing department, general manager will give instructions to marketing manager, and marketing manager will give instructions to assistant marketing manager, assistant manager to sales supervisor, ultimately to the salesman. Characteristics of line organization. The main features of line organization are as follows. Orders and instructions flow from top to bottom, whereas requests and suggestions move from bottom to top. So they will follow scholar chain. Orders and instructions flows from top to bottom, whereas requests and suggestions move from bottom to top. Another characteristic of line organization is the principle of unity of command is the most silent feature of this type of organization. In simple words, the orders are received by the subordinates from one boss. The principle of unity of command is the most silent feature of line organization. And if we want to show it in a simple manner, generally the orders are received by the subordinates from one superior or one boss. The subordinates are accountable to their immediate superior. There are limited number of subordinates under one superior. This is simple to operate and control. Coordination can be easily achieved. Okay, so I want to repeat the characteristics of line organization one more time, students. By listening them, you can clearly understand what is line organization. The first characteristic of line organization is orders and instructions. Orders and instructions flow from top to the bottom, whereas requests and suggestions move from bottom to top. So suggestions and requests are given by subordinates. Orders and instructions are given by top management. And another characteristic is the principle of unity of command is the main feature of line organization. And here we can understand very clearly that one subordinate, one superior, more subordinates, but more superiors, one subordinate should not be there. That is called unity of command. Remember this. The subordinates are accountable to their immediate superior. There are limited number of subordinates under one superior. It is a simplest form of organization, very easy to operate and very easy to control the subordinates. and coordination can be easily achieved. Coordination can be easily achieved. Now move to the advantages and disadvantages of line organization. Advantages of line organization are easy to establish, facilitates unity of command, clear-cut identification of authority and responsibility relationship, ensures excellent discipline. Advantages of line organization are easy to establish, facilitates unity of command, clear-cut identification of authority and responsibility relationship, ensures excellent discipline. Okay, where there are advantages, definitely will have disadvantages also, and the disadvantages are makes the superior too overloaded with the work, make the superior too overloaded with the work, concentration of authority at the top level, concentration of the authority at the top level, not suitable to big organizations. Line organization is not suitable to big organizations. And you can very clearly find out one thing over here is there is a lack of communication. There is lack of communication. So students, advantages and disadvantages and features we discussed. Now move to the same point of advantages and disadvantages in a clear manner of line organization. So I explained already, so I just want to put the slide for a few seconds so that you can take a screenshot of it, and I would like to move for another topic. No, I don't want, I want to explain these things. First advantage of line organization is simplicity. In line organization, you can see very clearly that unity of command is the basic feature. There you can observe very clearly that it is a simple and easy to establish and operate. It can be easily understood by employees because orders will come from, authority will come from top management to middle and middle to bottom. So it is easy for each and every one that who are giving the orders and what to do, what not to do. Okay, that is about simplicity. Next advantage is fixed responsibility. Fixed responsibility. Fixed responsibility, when we take, duties and responsibilities are clearly defined. Duties and responsibilities are clearly defined for each individual with reference to the work assigned to him. With reference to the work assigned to him. As a result, everybody knows to whom he is responsible and who are responsible to him. Nobody can avoid responsibility. Where there are line relationship is there and line organization is there, in this form of organization, everyone are responsible to each other. So, there is a fixed responsibility. Next one, discipline. Another point is discipline. In this type of organization, it ensures better discipline in the enterprise. Singleness of responsibilities facilitates discipline in the organization. The workers at the lower level will be more loyal and responsible to one single boss rather than a number of bosses. So in this line organization ensures better discipline in the enterprise. Singleness of responsibilities facilitate discipline in the organization. The workers at the lower level will be more loyal and responsible to one single boss rather than number of bosses. Okay. So, first advantage is simplicity, second one fixed responsibilities, third one discipline. Now check the fourth advantage, that is flexibility. It is flexibility. It is flexible in the nature that it is subjected to quick adjustments to suit to changing conditions. It is a flexible and it will change quickly according to the need and requirement. According to the need and requirement. In other words of Wheeler, it permits rapid and orderly decisions in facing problems at various levels of organization. In simple words, it is more adaptable to the changing circumstances. Next one, coordination. Line organization helps to achieve effective coordination. All the activities pertaining to single departments and are controlled by one person. It helps to achieve efficient coordination, and all the activities pertaining to single department are controlled by one person. Okay. Direct communication. Without communication, we cannot imagine an organization and its running. Is it not? So, as there will be a direct communication between the superior and the subordinate at different levels, it would be helpful in achieving promptness in performance. Unity of command. I am repeating this point of a number of times. As we all know, every worker is accountable to one boss in the department under this type of organization. In this manner, it is in accordance with the principle of unity of command. Economical. It is not complex and expensive. It is simple and economical in operation. It does not need any expert and specialized personnel. Okay, ma? Next one, quick decision making or quick decisions. On account of its simple operation and unfilled control and responsibility, decisions can be taken promptly. The process of decision making is further quickened as the decision is taken by one person. I am repeating this point. On account of its simple operation and unified control and responsibility, decisions can be taken promptly. The process of decision making is further quickened as the decision taken by one person only. Executive development. Under line organization, the department head is fully responsible for every activity in his department. He discharges his responsibilities in an efficient manner. He comes across many problems and obstacles in performing his duties. Under a line organization, the department head is fully responsible for every activity in his department because he has authority and responsibility in his hand, so he has to bear the responsibility along with authority. He discharges his responsibilities in an efficient manner. He comes across many problems and obstacles in performing his duties. This provides him, that means to the manager, an ample opportunity to enhance his capabilities and organizational abilities, and is generally helpful in his overall development and performance. Okay? Yes. Now let us focus on the disadvantages. And the disadvantages are overloading. The main disadvantages of line organization is that it tends to overload the existing executive with too many responsibilities. The existing executive has to take and bear so many responsibilities, which will become a overloading concept for him. The work may not be performed effectively on account of innumerable risk before the single executive. Okay. So let's move to the second disadvantage, lack of specialization. Absence of managerial specialization is the major drawback of line organization system. Absence of managerial specialization is the major drawback of line organization. On account of many functions and complexities, it is very difficult for a single individual to control all the matters effectively. The executive may not be expert in all aspects of managerial activities. The burden of responsibilities on the shoulders of the manager can crush him under the heavy workload, because the principle of unity of command, what it says, one superior, number of subordinates. So one superior has to handle all the issues, all the managerial activities, and the one superior has to bear all responsibilities on the shoulder, which crush him because of the heavy workload. So it will become a disadvantage in line organization. Next one, scope for favoritism. Yes, students, please concentrate on this point, because in your future you need, and I don't wish, but in certain circumstances you may face this disadvantage in your organization. Okay. So scope for favoritism. There may be good deal of favoritism and nepotism under this type of organization, as the concerned officer will judge the performance of the person at work according to his own norms. It is possible that efficient people may be left behind, and inefficient or yes men may get higher and better post. So if you are favor to your superior, you will get better opportunities. If you work hard but you are not in the list of choice of the superior, you are not going to get the benefits. So it is a drawback and it is a disadvantage of line organization. Another disadvantage is lack of coordination. In reality, it is very difficult to achieve proper coordination among various departments operating in an organization. This is because each departmental manager or head carries the functions of his department in accordance with the way and means suitable to him. So every person every superior they work in their own style, they'll follow their own manner. So it creates a lot of barriers for communication. They don't want to communicate with others, so coordination lacks in line organization. Next one, lack of initiative. Under line organization, ultimate authority lies in the hands of top management, and departmental managers or heads have little powers. This adversely affects their initiative and enthusiasm to motivate the subordinate working under them. So if a superior have overzeal to learn and to make others to learn, it will become a +2 organization. But if the superior is not in a mood and if they don't want to show their initiatives, then absolutely its adversely affect the subordinates, and they demotivate the subordinates. So it's called lack of initiative. Next, another disadvantage is lack of communication from lower ranks. Lack of communication from lower ranks. Under line organization, suggestions move from downward to upwards. The superiors usually do not pay attention to suggestions sent by lower ranks. So suggestions and all things will given by the lower management people, and obviously top management they never consider the suggestions given by lower management or lower ranked people. This leads to inadequacy of communication from subordinates to superiors. Okay, ma'am. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of line organization. Okay, students. So in this video we discussed line organization, its meaning, features of line organization, advantages of line organization, and disadvantages of line organization. We will meet with another topic in another video. Take care.